The official Dragon Ball webpage, dragonball.news, dropped a very interesting article about Kaioken and its placement in the Dragon Ball Super manga, a debate that's kind of been going on for a while and may continue to go on for a while among manga readers and Dragon Ball people in the community because of some misunderstandings and some weird translation things. But what I want to talk about here is not only this article, but also a few weeks ago in V Jump magazine, there was a spread, a couple page spread, and it was basically about the different forms in Dragon Ball Super, the manga. Now, this, of course, does correlate with the anime, perhaps more so than we thought. And those of you who are wondering, hey, where's the technique guide for Super Saiyan God, Dragon Ball Super stuff? I am still working on a technique guide for the Super Saiyan God form that is going to be dropping sometime by the end of the year. It's just that it's going to be a big video because there's a lot to discuss. And this right here is another layer to what we're going to be discussing in that video. So the V-Jump magazine did a little spread, like I said, about the God forms in Super and what they are. And the translation that we got from Cypher, I'm going to go ahead and see. It's a little blurry here, but I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys, and we're going to go back to what it says and kind of examine the situation. So it says here, Super Saiyan God. Originally, this is a form achieved by concentrating the power of many Saiyans. However, Goku and Vegeta become able to transform on their own. So, once again, that confirms what we've been talking about for a while here, which is that, yes, the ritual can get you Super Saiyan God, but also you can do it on your own as well through training, which is what Vegeta did when he was with Whis during that time before Goku showed up. Vegeta was able to learn how to master God Ki and eventually do Super Saiyan God. We did not see him actually do Super Saiyan God in the Dragon Ball Super anime. He did do it in the manga, but not in the anime until Dragon Ball Super Broly. So it says here, translation, this miraculous evolution of Super Saiyan variant of Super Saiyan God is achieved through training with Whis. And that's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. So that would be Super Saiyan Blue. And then it says down here, further evolutions of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. It says Blue Vegeta, achieved through activating Super Saiyan Blue after fusing, possesses power to rival Beerus. So, again, that tells you right there that Vegito Blue, at least during, I'm guessing they're talking about during the Trunks arc, but Vegito Blue is able to rival Beerus. It doesn't say that he can beat him, but he can rival Beerus. So that's interesting right there. Then it says Perfected Blue. Now, a lot of folks didn't understand what Perfected Blue was. And Perfected Blue is basically like a manga version of Blue Evolution, except that Goku is able to do it first. It says right here, this evolution locks Blue's overflowing power inside the user's body, allowing them to fight for extended periods of time at full strength. So it's basically a way to not drain as much energy as possible and keep your stamina up with using God Ki and Super Saiyan Blue. We first saw Goku do this, actually, in the fight with Zamasu in the manga. And then later on, of course, Vegeta would learn it. Then it says here, now again, this is not the same as Blue Evolution, but it's similar in that it's like an upgrade to Blue, but it's not the same. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. It says here Blue Kaioken. Now, again, notice it says evolutions, just so everybody understands. Blue Kaioken is not a transformation. It's just like a higher, upgraded version of Super Saiyan Blue. So, it's, with the technique, you're basically using Kaioken on top of Blue. Says right here, utilizing the principles of Kaioken, the user is able to temporarily increase their power as a Super Saiyan Blue. We saw Goku do this against Hit and various times in the anime as well. And then we have Blue Evolved, where it says Vegeta overcomes his own limits to achieve this uniquely styled mastery of Blue. Now, Blue Evolved is what I'm talking about. Even though it's called Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, Evolution and Evolved are interchangeable words. And the anime version is similar to the manga version. They're not identical, but they're similar. But I've seen a lot of people in the community say Blue Kaioken's not in the manga, Blue Evolution's not in the manga, but it is. It's right here. I mean, these are strictly manga forms here, and they're there. To further illustrate that point, here we have a photo of Goku doing Kaioken Blue, and the translation there, this would be from Jared, I believe. He wrote the following. This is the translation, by the way, for this image right here, just so you guys know. It says here, from the blue form state, which is Super Saiyan Blue, the Kaioken is activated to temporarily amplify your fighting power. This is a rough translation. I could say the same principle as Kaioken activated, as I'm still learning Japanese and the text is blurry and hard to read. He even admits that, folks. I mean, he's being honest here with his assertion. But other than that, they straight up call it Blue Kaioken above the description right there. So, Blue Kaioken. Now, so again, people who were saying that the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken does not exist in the manga. I mean, there's your evidence right there. But we have even more evidence right now from this new article. This new article that popped up on the Dragon Ball page goes over all of Goku's sort of training history with his various trainers. You can see right here you have Popo and Kami. Of course, you have Kaio-sama, where he learned the Kaioken. Then you have, and the Genki Dama, of course, the Spirit Bomb. Then you have Goku training with Whis, where he learned a whole bunch of new stuff, including how to master God Ki, and that would, of course, lead to Kaioken Blue. In fact, right here is the image where that was taken from that original Shonen Jump article, where they took the image from the manga first, but they copied it over to the Shonen Jump article. And this right here, this image right here is essentially Goku doing Kaioken Blue. The only problem is that in the manga, nobody ever says that, right? Nobody ever actually called it Kaioken Blue in this panel, even though that is what it was. And the article illustrates that. The article that just came out on the Dragon Ball page basically tells us that Goku can activate Kaioken on top of SSB to increase his power. And they're saying, that, oh, well, it was only in the anime, maybe in the manga. But, I mean, this is talking about the manga here. So, Kaioken Blue is a thing. So, in the manga, Goku has access to not only Kaioken Blue, but also completed Blue. And those are not the same thing. And I'll be going over all of that in the technique guide very soon. They're actually kind of the opposite, because Kaioken Blue, not technique guide, transformation guide. Well, one of those. Kaioken Blue amplifies your power, but it eats up a lot of stamina, right? Completed Blue is like the opposite. It tries to keep your power up while holding on to a lot of stamina without draining ki. So those are kind of the differences between the two forms, and I do like the fact that Goku has access to both of these, even though Ultra Instinct is higher. And actually, this whole article gets into Ultra Instinct, where it basically states here that UI Omen can be activated when you can control your emotions. So Goku, it's the opposite of like a Super Saiyan transformation. You know what I mean? When you're a Super Saiyan, it's all about rage and energy, and of course the tingly back thing they added, many years later. But it's all about energy. It's all about rage and emotion, right? That's how you get there. You have to feel emotional. In the English dub, Goku said it comes from a need, not a desire, but that's a dub only line. It's kind of a cute line, and it does sort of make sense, but it's all about rage. It's all about rage and breaking through limitations. But UI Omen at least, and probably perfected UI, are the opposite. They're basically forms that you access from controlling your emotions and sort of letting go. Sort of, again, the mastery of self-movement, Migate no Gokui. Goku has to let himself go and kind of, drop all his anger, his rage, focus, and then he can activate UI Omen. So this is a little bit more clarity as to how Mirrors was able to teach Goku how to master UI Omen. At this point, well, not master UI Omen, I'm sorry, access it at will. At this point, in my opinion, I feel like Goku using Kaioken Blue and Super Saiyan Blue in general might not even be a thing he would even need to use if he has UI Omen, right? Like, why would you go back to a lesser form? However, I feel like if Goku rages out, he would be able to go back into Blue, if that makes sense, which is probably why, and again, this part I'm guessing, this is probably why when Goku powered up in UI Omen, it didn't really work out, and his stamina was draining, because he didn't understand that, or maybe he did and just didn't care, that UI Omen can only be used with a clear mind and with, a calm spirit, not a rage, angry, monster and calling upon the power like Goku usually does. So, again, the forms in the manga are a tiny bit complex, which is why the transformation guide will be covering a lot of this, because it's a lot of, it's hard for me to make these videos sometimes because it does require a lot of research and notes. And as you guys know, Super Saiyan God has been, just that form by itself has been, not retcon, but we've learned so much about it since the Battle of Gods came out back in, 7 years ago. And they've changed some things and here and there. So, it's a tough video to make, and then, who knows when another V-Jump magazine will drop and I'll have to go back and make a correction or something. So, whatever. I've done the best I can here to explain it as briefly as possible when it comes to these forms. I think the article is pretty good, but, get a little bit confusing. So with that being said, I'm going to bring the video to a close. Right there on your screen, you should see videos linking to the transformation guide. I have already done all the ones from Dragon Ball through GT, and of course other videos that I think you may like as well. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and we'll talk very soon. Don't forget, this Saturday, Gogeta Blue versus Broly. How Gogeta Blue beat Broly. Guys, I'm really proud of this video, and you might enjoy the Gogeta Blue Broly fight even more. Thank you. Talk to you soon.